Parts of the country, a wildfire burning in northern New Mexico today, forcing evacuations and damaging several structures there. This footage showing smoke and flames from the fire by a resident who was filming as she was being evacuated Wednesday. Also adding that last year, the area lost more than 300,000 acres to the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire. The Las Tuzas fire has already burned more than 1,000 acres and went from a small plume to being in people's front yard in less than an hour.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, and we are turning our attention to Mother's Day, mothers of all types.
Yes, of all types, even birds, right, Alana?
The sandhill crane. You knew I was going to show her. Her name's Sandy to me, and I just have to show you that earlier. She was up. This is up at the Swainer Preserve in Park City, and this bird camera is giving me life. You actually see this mom with her 2 eggs, and she just camps out there, but at times you can catch mom and dad hanging out, but I wanted to wish her a happy early Mother's Day. She's awaiting the arrival, but she gets to celebrate. Everyone does. Even if you're just celebrating Mother Nature, Mother Earth, you can celebrate this weekend. Cloud cover was out there, the Salem Pond, showing the clouds moving in. Gorgeous shot here. Thanks, Brian, for sending it our way. Stunning, but we're increasing that moisture as we're getting some of that pushing back into the Beehive State, actually from the east, as you see on the satellite radar. Those clouds were out there, especially over the mountains, but east of I-15, we've been seeing the cloud cover filling in, especially in southwestern Wyoming. Dry out there right now, but that's going to change. High temperatures today made it to 75 in Salt Lake. That's above average for a few degrees. 70s along the Wasatch Front. It was pretty temperature-wise. 76 in Moab, 70s in Cedar. 85 is where we topped out in St. George, and typically this time of year, 83 is that high. Okay, taking a look at the flood alerts, want to show you that we have several in effect. That includes the Bear River, Bear River near Corinne for the advisory, Blacksmith Fork. So a lot of this in northern Utah and on the eastern side of the state. This is Corinne, so up in Box Elder County. Chris Williams catching the flooding that's happening there due to the Bear River. So with our warmer temperatures, flooding concerns stick around for Mother's Day weekend, and we have to be extremely careful near all of our waterways. There is a positive, though. Our rising levels at Lake Powell, we're up 15.5 feet. And as you look at the Great Salt Lake, since we've dealt with this rapid runoff and spring runoff as well as the snowmelt, we're up 4.8 feet at the Great Salt Lake. So positivity there. Clouds noticeable at the ABC4 studios. That live view showing just a light breeze with the upper 60s from our Colonial Tower flag cam. And you can see that the wind, even when it blows just slightly, it still spreads those pollens. Are you an allergy sufferer? Because we've got moderate mold out there and high tree pollen, mulberry, sycamore, and ash running high. So if you've got that watery eyes, congestion, you know what it's coming from. Windy days make it worse, and we are going to see the winds. Today we topped out at a 21-mile-per-hour wind gust in Salt Lake, but West Desert was pretty gusty, also the case over towards Moab, and we're going to keep the winds. For tomorrow, a high wind warning has been issued for Cache Valley. As we get this retrograding low, it's going to come in, and so downslope winds, easterly winds, going to hit Cache Valley with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Northern Utah, secure those loose objects now. This is going into effect tomorrow evening and holds on through Mother's Day morning. We also get the chance of a storm for tomorrow, and that's for the entire state. General threat, so we're not talking severe storms, but we could see some gusty winds, thunder and lightning, maybe a little hail. Future Cache shows us it's going to be tied to the higher elevations. By 6 a.m. towards the I-70 corridor, maybe a shower, but daytime heating adds to the storm development, which is noticeable by noon and peppered along the spine of Utah, which is our mountain ranges. Here we are by 4 p.m. and the model brings it in, and so the potential for some of these to form and roll into our valleys is there. Isolated activity for our Saturday holds on late. Here we are by 9 p.m. We could get some nocturnal activity there. Wasatch Plateau, Salt Lake County, and then as we roll into Sunday Mother's Day, we get the chance of storms sticking around yet again. There's that thunderstorm threat for Mother's Day, so if you're going to be out, stay weather aware, especially if you're going to be hiking, biking in our beautiful mountains. You want to be careful. 60s and 70s, 70 in Price, 70s in Delta, upper 60s in Cedar City, and 80s in St. George with that thunderstorm threat definitely holding on for Saturday and into Sunday. As you take a look at the next 7, I'm going to show you those temperatures temperatures jumping up for Washington County, getting to the 90s with drier conditions, low 90s hanging out there. Mother's Day hits 90, and then an unsettled spring pattern. There's a look at Mother's Day weekend throughout the region. Generally speaking, 60s to 70s. The Wasatch Front getting to the 80s, and as we head into next week, those 80s want to hang around. Again, that's above average, so that warming trend comes in, and that unsettled spring pattern doesn't want to go anywhere. Some thunderstorms for the weekend. And that's okay. We're just celebrating in our own way, right, Mother Nature?
Yes. Thank you, Mother Nature. Happy Mother's Day to her, too.
Yeah.
Alana. Okay, time now.
Celebrating it longer than anyone.
Yes, she has. She knows how to do it exactly.
Don't call her old.
Take her to brunch.
There you go.
All right, let's take a look at sports, Dana.
The dream becoming reality for some local players.
Yeah, this is such a cool time of their lives. NFL mini camps are underway. We're going to hear from former Ute star Dalton Kincaid and former BYU star Jaron Hall, plus state